All right, keeping up with AI this year is, whew, I'm telling you.
I know, right?
It's like every day
It's why
there's some new tool or update, and it's like, boom, this is going to change everything.
Yeah, it feels like we're living in the future, doesn't it?
Exactly. So that brings us to our deep dive today. We're looking at this article from datapro.news, Google's Stream Real-Time API,
Oh, yeah.
a game changer for data engineers. Published just this week, January 22nd, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already making some waves.
It's a hot one, for sure, especially for data engineers.
Well, you know me, always looking for that edge, anything to make our lives a little bit easier. So what caught your eye in this article? Why should data engineers be paying attention?
Well, what I think is so cool about this article is it goes beyond just, like, the hype, and it gets into the, like, what does this actually mean for data engineers? Google's new Stream Real-Time API for AI Studio, this thing's powered by the Gemini 2.0 update.
Okay.
And they're saying this has the potential to really change how data engineers work.
Okay, so before we get too far down the rabbit hole here, let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Sure.
What exactly is Stream Real-Time?
Right.
This article throws around this term multi-modal API, and that sounds pretty techy.
Yeah, so multimodal, it just means that the AI can interact with you, not just through text, but also voice and video.
So it can actually see what I'm doing on my screen.
Exactly, yeah.
Whoa.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
Okay.
It's not just responding to, like, your commands. It's understanding the context of what you're working on.
Okay, so give me an example. What would that look like in practice?
All right, picture this.
Yeah.
You're working on some crazy data transformation in your code editor, right?
Okay.
The AI is watching you, following your cursor, analyzing the code.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're typing, it might be like, hey, there's actually a more efficient function you could use here. Or you might have missed a little error.
Right.
It's like having a senior engineer looking over your shoulder, but in a way that feels natural.
Right, like a collaborator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I can definitely see how it'd be a game changer. But the article also mentions some other, like, technical details, low latency, and it talks about function calling and external tool integration.
Right.
Can you break those down for me a little bit?
Yeah, totally. So low latency, that's a big one. It basically means that the AI's responses are almost instantaneous. There's no lag, no delay. It feels like you're interacting with another person.
Right.
That's key.
Absolutely, yeah. You want it to be seamless.
Yeah, you don't want to be waiting around for the AI to catch up.
Exactly.
And then function calling, that lets you directly execute things within your applications using the API.
Okay.
So you could be like, hey, AI, run this query
Yeah.
or generate a visualization, and it just does it.
Oh, wow. So it's not just suggesting things.
Right.
It's actually doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It can take action.
Mhm.
And then external tool integration, that means it can connect to all kinds of third-party tools and services.
So, like,
So you can say, like, hey, AI, go grab this data from this API over here,
right.
run this analysis on it, and then, I don't know, make me a nice report.
Wow.
All without leaving your current workflow.
It's like connecting all the dots.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, this article is saying this isn't just about flashy features. It's about real impact.
Right. So why should data engineers, and you, the listener out there, why should you care?
Yeah, that's the question, right? I mean, the article even highlights, and we've even seen some early demos.
Okay.
This isn't just some tech demo. This is something that could really impact your day-to-day work as a data engineer.
Mm.
Kevin Stratford, that tech YouTuber.
Sure.
He put out a video, and it shows this API actually working inside Excel. Seeing it in action like that, even at this early stage, it's like, whoa, this is the real deal.
Yeah. It's one thing to talk about it theoretically, but to actually see it, like, in a familiar environment like Excel.
Exactly.
That makes it real.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get into some of those real-world applications. The first one that really stood out to me was this interactive pipeline design assistant.
Ah, this is a good one. The article paints this picture of how Stream Real-Time could totally change how we design data pipelines. So imagine you're sketching out your pipeline, right? You're maybe drawing a diagram, writing some code. Okay. And there's this AI expert, like looking over your shoulder, giving you feedback in real time. That's what this makes possible.
So instead of just, doing my design work in isolation, I have this assistant helping me make better decisions from the get-go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you're working, the AI is analyzing, looking for bottlenecks, suggesting optimizations, and might say, hey, you can structure this data flow a bit better, or watch out, there might be a data quality issue here you haven't thought of.
It's like having like a pair programmer,
Yeah.
but instead of a human, it's this AI that's constantly like
Yeah.
checking my work.
Exactly. And the article says this could seriously cut down the time it takes to design and build these pipelines.
Okay, that's a pretty compelling argument because I know pipeline design can be a real headache.
Oh, yeah.
So what are some like specific examples of how this could help?
Okay, so let's say you're working on a transformation step in your pipeline.
Right.
You're writing the code. The AI might jump in and say, hey, there's a better algorithm for this. Or, uh-oh, looks like you might have a logic error here.
Whoa.
It could even suggest libraries or functions that are just better suited for the job.
That's incredible. I can see that being super helpful. But what about like the big picture stuff? Can it handle those kinds of design considerations as well?
Oh, absolutely. The article talks about how it can look at the entire architecture of your pipeline and make suggestions about data partitioning, error handling, even security protocols.
Wow. So it's not just about individual lines of code. It's about
It's the whole thing.
the whole system.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. Okay, but let's be honest. No matter how well we design these things,
Right.
things go wrong.
Always.
And that's where the fun of debugging comes in.
Oh, yeah, the dreaded debugging.
Oh, tell me about it. Countless hours staring at error messages,
I feel you.
trying to figure out what went wrong.
We've all been there. But with Stream Real-Time, debugging could actually become, well, less painful.
Okay.
So imagine you hit an error in your pipeline, right?
Yeah.
Instead of manually digging through logs and code, you just turn to the AI and say, hey, what's going on here?
So it can, like, look at my code
Mm-mm.
and tell me what's causing the error.
Yep, that's the idea. It can analyze your code, the errors, even the runtime environment to figure out the root cause.
Yeah.
And then it can suggest fixes, even point you to the right documentation.
Oh, that would be a lifesaver.
Right.
Instead of spending hours Googling around.
Exactly. Boom, there's your answer. And because it's real time, you see the impact of your changes immediately. No more like endless fix, test, repeat cycles.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so it can help with debugging, but what about performance optimization? Can it help with that too?
Yeah, totally. Let's say your pipeline's running slow, right? Stream Real-Time can analyze the performance, figure out the bottlenecks, and then suggest ways to make things faster. It might say, hey, this query could be optimized, or you could tweak the config of your data processing framework, or even think about restructuring your data storage to speed things up.
So it's like having this performance guru just like constantly monitoring my pipeline.
Pretty much, yeah. Offering tips and tricks.
That's incredible. It sounds like this thing could free up so much time and mental energy for us.
Absolutely. It can handle a lot of those tedious, time-consuming tasks so we can focus on the more creative stuff.
Oh, speaking of creative, that brings us to the third use case, the interactive tutor for skill development.
Oh, yeah, this is a really exciting one, especially for people just getting started in data engineering.
Right.
Imagine having this personalized AI tutor that can walk you through everything.
So instead of just like reading documentation or watching videos,
Right.
I can actually interact
Yeah,
and get feedback.
exactly. So picture this.
Yeah.
You're working through a coding exercise, and as you're typing, the AI is there, making suggestions, pointing out errors, explaining stuff in simple terms.
It's like having a personal mentor who's like always available.
Right. And because it's personalized, it can adapt to your learning style, your pace.
Wow.
It figures out your strengths and weaknesses and tailors its guidance just for you.
That is wild. This could totally change how data engineers learn, huh?
Absolutely. And it's not just for beginners either. Even experienced engineers can benefit, especially when they're learning new tech or exploring something new.
Okay, so we've explored some pretty mind-blowing use cases for this API,
Yeah.
but let's zoom out for a minute, big picture.
Okay.
What does all of this mean for the future of data engineering? How is Stream Real-Time going to change how we work?
Well, I think the takeaway here is that this is a fundamental shift. It's moving towards a more collaborative, AI-augmented workflow where humans and machines work together.
We're better together, right?
Exactly. For greater efficiency, quality, innovation.
That's a pretty exciting thought, huh?
It really is, yeah.
I'm ready to, like, dive even deeper into what this all means.
Let's do it. So the article, it breaks it down into three main areas
Okay.
where the shift is, like, really obvious.
Yeah.
Agility, quality, and what they call the democratization of expertise.
Okay, let's unpack those a little bit.
Yeah.
What do we mean by agility when we talk about data engineering?
So think about it, right? Data needs are always changing. What worked yesterday
Right.
might be totally useless tomorrow.
Totally.
Stream real time. It lets us adapt way faster.
Okay.
Instant feedback on your designs. You catch errors early.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can implement solutions in real time.
Yeah.
That's agility.
It's that whole like fail fast, learn fast kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You experiment more, iterate quicker, deliver value faster.
Right. Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What about quality? How does this impact the quality of the work we do?
So think about all the things that can go wrong in a data pipeline.
Oh, don't get me started.
Coding errors, data quality issues, performance bottlenecks,
Mm-hmm.
stream, real time. It's like a safety net.
Okay.
It catches a lot of these problems before they uh, blow up on you.
Right.
The AI is constantly checking your code, your data, how your pipeline's running.
So it's like a built-in quality assurance expert.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I like that.
You end up with way more reliable pipelines.
That makes sense. Now, this democratization of expertise thing,
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
So basically, it means that even junior engineers or people who are just getting into data engineering,
Mm-hmm.
they can tap into this level of expertise that, normally you'd need years of experience for.
Okay.
Like having access to the best data engineers in the world all through this AI assistant.
Wow, that's a game changer for sure.
It levels the playing field, makes data engineering more accessible.
I like it. But, at the end of the day, a lot of companies, they care about the bottom line.
Right, the money.
Yeah. So what kind of tangible benefits can we expect? Does this actually move the needle?
Well, the article actually puts some numbers to it.
Ooh, I love numbers.
Yeah. They say Stream Real Time could cut down the time we spend on that initial pipeline design and optimization by 30%.
Wow. Okay.
Debugging time, that could go down by like 40 to 50%.
That's huge.
And get this, the learning curve for new technologies could be 25 to 35% faster.
All right, now we're talking.
Right.
Those are some real-time savings.
Think about what you could do with all that extra time. You could take on bigger projects,
Yeah.
focus on the important stuff, or just, have more time to think.
Or maybe even go home on time for once.
Exactly.
I'm sold. But, taking a step back, this feels like more than just a new tool. It's like a whole new way of doing data engineering.
It's a peek into that AI-augmented future everyone's been talking about. Stream Real Time is just one example of how AI is becoming, like, really woven into our work.
Yeah.
It's not replacing us, but it's making us better.
It's like having that super smart assistant who's
I-
always there to help you out.
Yep.
But doesn't this, raise some questions about the future of data engineering as a career?
Oh, for sure. Anytime you have a disruptive technology like this,
Right.
people start worrying about jobs, what skills are going to be needed.
Yeah, yeah.
And, of course, the ethics of relying so much on AI.
All valid points.
We got to have those conversations
Yeah.
alongside all the excitement about the potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to be thoughtful, responsible.
Consider both the good and the bad.
Okay, well, this has definitely given me a lot to think about. Before we wrap up, though,
Yeah.
I want to hear what you think this means for data engineering in the long run. What kind of impact is Stream Real Time going to have?
It's tough to say for sure. It's still early,
Right.
but I think this is a big step toward a more collaborative, AI-driven way of doing things.
Mhm.
We're going to need to focus more on problem solving, critical thinking, creativity.
Right.
Because the AI is going to handle a lot of the routine stuff.
So data engineers of the future, they're going to need to be comfortable working with AI,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
understand its strengths and weaknesses,
Yeah.
and really use it to solve the toughest problems.
Exactly.
That's a really interesting perspective. Sounds like the role of the data engineer is going to change a lot.
I think so.
But at the end of the day, it's not just about the jobs or the tech, right? It's about what we can do when we combine human ingenuity with AI.
You got it. And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be in data engineering. We're on the edge of something new, and the possibilities, they're really endless.
Well, that's a pretty inspiring thought. Before we go, any final, thought-provoking questions for our listeners? Something to really get them thinking.
Okay, how about this? If you had an AI expert by your side every step of the way, what could you accomplish? What amazing projects would you take on? What world-changing problems would you try to solve?
Whoa, that is a great question.
Right.
I think that's the perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
The future of data engineering is wide open, and it's up to us to explore it.
For sure.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI-augmented data engineering.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
It's clear that things are moving fast.
Oh, yeah.
Tools like Stream Realtime, this is just the beginning.
Just the tip of the iceberg.
I think so.
You know, it's funny, just thinking back a few years ago,
Yeah.
the idea of an AI assistant for data engineers, it was like
Yeah.
pure science fiction.
We knew AI was coming,
Right.
but it always felt so far off.
Yeah, like someday, maybe.
Exactly. And now here we are.
No, right.
Talking about real applications that are actually changing how we work.
It really makes you think, what's next?
No kidding. If we can do this now,
Right.
imagine 5 years from now.
I can't even
It's
think.
going to be wild.
It is, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If we've learned anything from this deep dive, it's that the future of data engineering, who knows?
It's unpredictable,
Holy.
but it's going to be an exciting ride, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what we build.
Yeah,
Humans and AI working together.
it's going to be awesome.
It is.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.
To everyone listening out there, thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI-augmented data engineering.
Keep those brains working.
Keep learning, keep exploring.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to build that next game-changing tool.
That's right. Until next time,
Keep exploring.
and keep on diving deep.